Hello friends, it's Lorraine with Rags to Stitches USA. It has been a minute since I have visited with you guys. Today is Sunday, January 19th, and it is cold here, y'all. It is cold, and I'm sure it's cold where you got, well, I don't know, some of you may be in a nice, warm, sunny location, but for the most part, I think a lot of people are experiencing a cold front. I went to church this morning, and then our guild had a meeting this afternoon, and on the way home from my guild meeting, it snowed on me. Now, it wasn't any snow that was laying, it was just little flakes of snow that would hit your windshield and then immediately melt, and there was nothing on the ground or anything like that, but it was cold, y'all, and I think it's supposed to get like in the low teens this week here in Georgia. That is cold. That is just stinking cold, and I don't like it. So I will probably turn into a little hermit this week and stay home as much as I can in my comfy clothes. I've got my Where's Waldo shirt on. It's big and warm and comfy, and I just want to stay home and stitch. I haven't had an opportunity to do a whole lot of that lately. We were busy with the holidays, as I'm sure all of you were, and we had a lovely holiday and enjoyed it very much, but I still have holiday around my house that I need to put back in order. As a matter of fact, this piece of furniture here is normally in my living room where my family Christmas tree goes. So we have to move that piece in here while the tree is out. We do have the tree put away now. We have, I think we have 6 of our 7 larger trees put away. I like to have a lot of trees. So I have one tree that I keep up year round in my mudroom, and I decorate it seasonally. And it's not a very big tree. It sits on the countertop in my mudroom. And so it's the only one that stays up. And then I have 6 other trees, and 5 of those have been put away, but the one downstairs in our rec room has not been put away yet. I've been gone the majority of January, and so it's an aluminum tree. It reminds me of the tree I had when I was a little girl. The tree itself that I had when I was little was stolen out of our barn, but they didn't take the color wheel, so I still have the color wheel. So when aluminum trees became popular again, a few years ago, I bought a new aluminum tree, but I have my old color wheel. And so I brought that out this year for the kids to see, and they loved it. So I haven't taken that tree down yet, and I'll probably do that tomorrow and put on a big pot of soup. And I don't know, are there any football games on tomorrow? My son asked me to join a fantasy football team with him. I think we had 8 people from our family that made up this fantasy football team. And I don't know anything about pro football. I'll follow college football, and I enjoy that. But I didn't know anything about pro football. But I said I would do it for him. Y'all, I got so into that fantasy football. It was not even funny. It was, I'm not a competitive person by nature, but y'all, let me tell you, I got into that, I got into that fantasy football. It was so much fun. So our fantasy league is over now that the playoffs have begun. So I'm not really sure who I will pull for in the playoffs, because some of my fantasy players, I think, are on all the teams that are in the playoffs now. So I'm not sure who I'll pull for, but I'm hoping my son creates a league next year and I'm going to be all over it this year. When we first signed up, like I say, there were 8 of us, and I fully expected to come in dead last because I didn't know anything. I came in 3rd place. I can't really brag about that because when they do the draft, it pretty much suggests who you should draft, and I just did pretty much what they said. Now, occasionally I would see a player that, you know, I liked his name, and I'd say, no, I want this guy. But for the most part, I followed what they said. So I can't take credit for picking, you know, a 3rd place team or anything like that. But it sure was fun. Sure was fun. And it gave my family, you know, things to talk about when we got together and kind of rib each other. And it was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to doing that again. But now I'm kind of gonna miss it. But anyway, I don't know what got me off on that little tangent. But I'm looking forward to getting back into some stitching now that the holidays are over. And hopefully, you know, life will get back down to a more normal pace. I'm not going to say a slower pace, but a more normal pace. So I'm going to show you a few things that I've worked on. I think in my last video, I was showing, I think it was Sampler September. Honestly, that's how long it's been. And I didn't finish showing all of the things that I was going to work on, and I didn't go back and look at the video, so I'm not sure exactly what I showed. But I will show a few of the things that I am working on now. I was trying to kind of tally up how many whips I had going into the new year. And I was just looking at my active whips, not those whips that you've started and never touched, but the ones that I really try to touch. Hoo-wee, golly, y'all, it was a lot. A lot. I'm not even going to give the number, but it's a lot. And so, because I'm not a monogamous stitcher, a lot of times you can't tell that I've made a lot of progress, even though I feel like I've been stitching a lot and made a lot of progress. I may not make a lot of progress on each piece, but altogether I've put in quite a few stitches. So I will just stop talking now and show you some of my work. The first one, and I'm having an avalanche here. The first one is my piece that I'm doing for Sweet Daylene in memory of her. I am about to fall. Hang on just a second. Maybe that'll hold up. Okay. This is a Summer Garden sampler by Needlework Press. And I'm doing this as a stitch along with Lynette from Homesteading on the Homefront. And I love this piece, and I think it reminds me of Daylene. And Daylene Wilson was so grateful on Flosstube, and she passed away last year, and we're doing this piece in memory of her. This looks like Sweet Daylene down here with her little hat on. And I am going to change up a few of these motifs to make it a little more personal for Miss Sweet Daylene. But I love this piece. I am stitching mine on 36 count dunes from Fiber on a Whim. So I started in the upper right hand corner. And so Miss Daylene will be right here. That's pretty much true to size, isn't it? Pretty much. Look at that. So I have really enjoyed stitching this and thinking about Mr. Wright and how he must be missing his bride. So that is a Summer Garden sampler, and that will be a piece that I will continue to work on each month. That one will not be put away out of my rotation. I will continue working on that one until I finish it. This one is from the Scarlet House, one of my favorite designers. I love the Scarlet House. This is Martha Pudsey, 1835. A working copy of the cover. I love Adam and Eve samplers. I love samplers, period. I love reproduction samplers. And I love Adam and Eve reproduction samplers, probably the best. So I really, really enjoyed this one. I'm not sure if this was a club piece or not. I kind of don't think that it was. A lot of the pieces that I'm going to be showing you today are club pieces, but I don't think this one is. I'm stitching this on a bed sheet of 36 count Ale by Picture This Plus. I think it goes this way. So really all I have stitched on is the border, but I have stitched all the way around and it met up, hallelujah. And I think I whooped pretty loudly when, I think I was at a retreat when it met up, and I whooped really loudly and scared all the girls at my table. But I was so excited. And I know any of you that stitch borders know exactly how that felt. It was wonderful. So before long, I will probably abandon some of the border and actually start stitching on the middle, because that's all I have gotten to do on this is border. And although it's lovely, I'm ready to do some of the fun stuff in the middle. So that was Martha Pudsey by the sampler, by the Scarlet House. This one is another Adam and Eve sampler. This one is by Shakespeare's Peddler, and I'm not sure if this one was a club piece also or not. Maria Finney, 1832, Adam and Eve's House by the Shakespeare's Peddler. I love it. It does have an alphabet up there. It's kind of hard to see in this light. Y'all, I broke my ring light, which is another reason that I didn't make a video for a while. When I was decorating for Christmas, I knocked over my ring light and that thing shattered. I mean, just shattered all over the floor. And so I thought, well, there goes my videos. I'll have to get another one. And I was saying something to my son about that. And he said, oh, don't buy another one, Mom. I've got one you can have. Well, I haven't seen my son's ring light. Hint, hint, son. But really the only thing that shattered was the plastic cover that went around the ring that kind of muted the light. And so tonight I just decided I'm going to try to make a video whether I have that ring light or not. And without the ring light, it was really too dark in here because it's nighttime and the shadows were bad. But I got the ring light set up. Really, I wanted to use it more for a, what do you call it? Anyway, to put my camera on. But the light was so bright. So I got a grocery store bag that was white, and I put that over it, and that muffled it just enough. So I think I may have just rigged it up where I won't have to buy another one right away anyway. I just keep watching it, making sure that it doesn't get too hot on in that bag. But anyway, so you may not be able to, even with me looking at this, the cover of the chart, you really can't see the alphabet very well. And it's kind of ghosty when I actually stitch it. But you can see it a little bit better. So I am stitching this on, if I'm stitching it on what it's called for, is called for, I don't know. Oh, straw. And I think I am stitching this on straw by weeks. This is 36 count. So I did not do the whole border. I started just at the top and working my way down. I probably started in the upper right-hand corner, which is kind of where I like to start mine now if I can. I don't always start there, but I like to start here because I'm an in-hand stitcher. And so as I'm stitching, I'm gathering up, you know, my fabric. And so if I've already stitched all this over here, then I keep wadding that up. So I try to stitch on this side and then work my way here, and I'm not wadding up my stitches quite as much. But that doesn't always work out to be the best place to start. But that's where I am with this one. Again, that was Maria Finney, 1832, Adam and Eve's House by Shakespeare's Peddler. I love it. It's not this one's been around for a little while. All right, the next one that I have been working on is Anna Oman, 1873 by, I just watched Brenda and Laura, and Brenda says it's Lila's studio, not Lila's studio. So I may have been saying this wrong all along. I'm not sure if it's Lila's or Lila's studio, but isn't that beautiful? I love a monochromatic piece. I love a monochromatic piece. And this one is just beautiful, I think. So here again, I'm stitching this one on a bed sheet. Oops. On a bed sheet. And this is 40 Count Winter Brew by R&R. And it goes this way. And the floss is Used Brick by Classic Colorworks. So I'm working my way. I did the alphabet row, and now I'm working my way down the right-hand border. And I love this one. I absolutely love it. And so this one will probably stay in my current rotation too. I may put in 300 to 500 stitches a month on this one. Usually I try to hit like 300-ish stitches a day when I stitch, and sometimes I do more and sometimes I don't get that many. But that fits a lot of the prompts that I do. You know, I'm in some challenge groups, and so I try to do this to fill at least one prompt a month, and sometimes I do more than that, but she will stay in my rotation for that. Alrighty, I just dropped some stuff in the floor, so let me grab that. You know, I just did an update on my phone recently, and I see that now I can pause. I've never been able to pause the video, so I keep forgetting that I could pause. So next time I drop something, I'll try to remember to pause it. The next one that I think I'm going to be showing you is called Sunday Morning. This is by Samplers Remembered. And this was a club kit. I don't remember how long I've had this club kit though. So it may be, I don't know if it was a recent one or not. So it may be available now. It says, Sunday morning, the Sunday bells are knolling slow, the summer morn, how fair, while father, mother, children go and seek the house of prayer. And so this is by Samplers Remembered, Linda Danielson. I remember her talking about this chart. So it said, or maybe it was on the description on the back of her chart, she loved to go to, I think it was her grandparents' house, and she loved to hear the church bells ringing on Sunday morning. So I think that's what inspired this chart. So I have just been working on the border of this one. And I think it goes like this. And since this was a kit, I'm sure I am stitching it on the called for fabric. And does it tell me what it is? I don't see where it says what this fabric is. I'm using the call. Whatever was in the kit, that is what I'm using. And it's all hand-dyed fibers. Gentle Arts and Weeks. So that is Sunday Morning by Samplers Remembered. Alrighty, this piece is another piece that I started stitching and thinking of Miss Daleen, Sweet Daleen, when I stitched this. It's also a birthday start that Callie with Floss Boss and Cousins, this was her birthday start. So I know it's a sale for quite a few people. It's called Summer Jubilee. It's out of the Souvenirs of Summer book by Blackbird. I am doing mine on a piece of Mayflower Gray. It's 36 count from Dames of the Needle. And I thought it would be hard to stitch on because it's darker, but it really wasn't. And depending on the lighting, sometimes you can see this is used brick. And sometimes it's a little hard to pick up on the video, but it looks like it's coming through okay tonight. So it's not a very big piece. The used brick is the edge of the border all the way around. So you can see it's not a very big piece, but I think it's so pretty. I really love this. So I don't have too much more to go on that. I don't have my book here to show you the pattern, but I know you've all seen this. So many people have already stitched this. But that's Summer Jubilee by Blackbird out of the Souvenirs of Summer book. All right, how we doing? We're not doing too bad. I don't think I'll make it through my entire stack, but I've got quite a few that I've been able to show you. All right, this next one is, again, it was a schoolgirl club kit, I think. This is Jane Plenderleith, 1838 by Needlework Press. Isn't that pretty? I love the house. I think it's just beautiful. The antique here behind it. So I started this one in the middle. Sometimes I will do that, especially if it's a club kit, because I don't know exactly how much of a margin they've allowed us to have. And so rather than start it and then not have enough, if I've started it too far to the left, I prefer to start in the middle, and then that way I'm sure to have enough. Because they don't always, you know, it's not a huge piece. So this one I started somewhere in the middle here. See, there's the alphabet in the middle, and then that band here. So I don't think I've made it all the way to the top. Have I made it all the way to the top? Yeah, I may have made it all the way to the top here. But this one's gonna be really pretty. I love the colors in it. It's here again, it's all over dyed. I think it's all Weeks. Yeah. And I think this is 36 count straw linen. It seems like I've used straw for quite a few pieces. And also there are quite a few dyers that have named their fabrics straw, their colors straw. So sometimes mine will say straw, but I'm thinking, well, that's not a Weeks straw. So I'm not sure who that is. As a matter of fact, one of these pieces that I thought about showing you, I don't know if it's one that I actually pulled or not. It said straw, but I thought, is it? I'm not real sure. Okay, here's one that I've been working on for a little while, and all of my friends have already stitched this and gotten it finished. And I'm so close to a finish. I'm getting there. I'm really getting there. This was another club kit, I think. It's called the Red and Green Carnation Sampler by Samplers Remembered. Really pretty. It's all reds and greens, but it doesn't scream Christmas to me, even though it's reds and greens. And she also had the chart for the Little Merry Christmas pillow, but I haven't done that yet. But I'm getting there on the chart. Isn't that pretty? I just love it. Like I say, several of my friends had already stitched this, and it makes me want to get mine stitched. But if I were a monogamous stitcher, I could whoop that out, but I'm not, and that's okay. I'm a progress stitcher, not a process stitcher. I really don't have very many of my pieces framed and hanging in my house at all. I have these 3 pieces here. I didn't bring that. Maybe I'll pause and go get my piece and show you. I think I will. Well, I think the pause worked, but I think I hit the wrong button. So I'm going to try to splice these 2 together. We'll see if that works. Anyway, I wanted to show you a piece that I started yesterday, and when I was talking about these 3 pieces, it reminded me I wanted to show you that piece, and I didn't have it in here with me. But these 3 samplers I did decades ago when I was expecting some of my children, and they have Hardanger stitches, Hardanger work in there. And I did these 3 when I was expecting 3 of my children, and then my last child, when I was expecting him, these are pieces done by Emmy Bishop, and this is the Love, Faith, and Hope samplers, and she didn't have another one of these Hardanger samplers out, and right before my last son was born, she came out with Charity. So I stitched the A really quickly before he was born, and I'll just say he's a couple of decades old plus, and I still have not finished that sampler. So because it's been so long since I have done any of that work, I wanted a refresher course. And so one of my friends offered to teach a class to our guild on Hardanger, and I was so excited. So we took that class yesterday, and she had us stitching a small piece. Let's see if I can get it out of here so you can see. And it was just beautiful. Well, here we go. And so this is the piece that we're stitching on. It has a little matching scissor fob, but we're stitching this piece. And there you go. You can see some of these are satin stitches here, and these are cluster block. These are satin stitches too, but you're doing little cluster blocks. And it's got I forget what the name of that stitch is. And you can see all of the specialty stitches in these 4 squares are all different. And then in the center there are Algerian eye stitches and Smyrna crosses. Anyway, I think these are like a diamond eyelet stitch, I think it was called. So anyway, we're learning lots of specialty stitches, but these holes in the center here, it's because you clip those linen threads and pull them out. And then, so you're pulling out these, and it leaves these, and so then you wrap those stitches to make these. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's going to be beautiful. So here is my little start. I think it goes this way. So as you can see, I finished my cluster block stitches, and I finished these, and now I have clipped 3 sides of this one, and clip 3 sides of this one, and pull, or clip 2 sides of that one. One side, clip that side, and pull those strings out. I need to do that in all of these, but haven't got the nerve to do that yet. So anyway, that was what we did at the Hardanger class yesterday. I need to clip my threads before our class next month. And then we will learn the rest of the specialty stitches. And then maybe I will have the nerve to finish up my son's sampler. Well, I think by the time I paste these two videos together, I will probably be at the 30-minute mark. I don't know, I messed up when I paused there, so I'm not really sure exactly how long I've been talking, but probably long enough. I like to leave it at 30 minutes. So I hope you guys are staying warm, staying safe, cooking lots of soups and good warm weather food. And I hope to see you all in just a few weeks. Happy stitching, everybody.